I wish I could find the words to explain this, but it's like when you are bound down by depression and addictions and stuff, it's like you have these blinders on your eyes of darkness, and you can't see any light. You can't see the truth. It's like my mind was just blank. I was rejected a lot growing up, and I just felt I was made fun of a lot. I was rejected a lot, and so my next door neighbor started giving me the attention that I just desperately needed and wanted. He was 50 years old, and he ended up molesting me. My parents got divorced when I was around 14 or 15. I blamed my mom a lot for the divorce. I had a lot of anger towards her. And just around that time is when I just really started like lashing out. That's where a lot of my anger came from, a lot of my rebellion came from. At that point I started cutting. It was just like whatever I could do to numb the pain I did. There was times where I would wake up and I would have no idea where I was, how I got there, who I was with. I mean, I put myself in many dangerous situations. I ended up finding a doctor who would prescribe me whatever I wanted. So I got on several different pain pills and just prescription medications, and got addicted to those. And the next morning, I woke up and I went to go drive my car, and I ended up totaling it because I was still, I guess, feeling the effects from the pills from the night before. My car was crushed like an accordion, and I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, and so I definitely should have died. So then I got to a point where pills weren't enough anymore. I met a guy who introduced me to meth, and from that point on, it was an everyday struggle. My life just slowly went downhill. My thoughts were just so dark and deep, and I just didn't want to live anymore. I started selling drugs to support my habit. I was selling my prescription drugs that I was getting from the doctors, and I started selling meth as well. I was just so sick of the way life was going. And so I decided I was going to take some pills and I was going to go to sleep. And hopefully I wasn't going to wake up. Things kept getting worse. I always had a way of like keeping my habit. And it got to a point to where I couldn't keep my habit anymore. I couldn't afford it anymore. And I started doing things that I never thought I would do. I started sleeping with drug dealers to get better deals on the drugs, or to get them for free. I just stooped to such levels that I swore I would never stoop to. It was just a really scary time. It was really, I thought I was really hopeless. I was really helpless. I thought that I was gonna be addicted for the rest of my life. And there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do to fix it, but just to make it worse by doing more drugs. And I mean, it was just a never-ending spiral. Eventually, my mom told me about this place called Mercy Ministries. I got there November 14th. I had stayed high on 5 different drugs up until the very day that I walked through the doors. And as they pulled me into Mama Boo's office, and they sat me down on the couch, and my counselor and Mama Boo ended up laying hands on me and praying over me. And as I sat there, like, I just remember, like, I lifted my hands in the air and I was just like, God, like, I surrender everything to you. I can't do this anymore. Like, I need you. Please help me. And when they got done praying over me, it was like God literally placed his hand on my back through those women. I was drenched in sweat. And so it was like he literally just detoxed me right there on that couch. I started the healing process. God really just took it all away from me right then and there. Everything. all my addictions, all my depression, just completely delivered me. I have the joy of the Lord now, and I'm just such a positive person, and I love life. I have a relationship with God, and whereas before I didn't even know what that looked like. Every single day, I talk to him continually throughout the day, and he talks to me, and I hear him. I just want to show everybody, you know, what God can do, and help them to see that they can have it too, and that there is life after addiction, and that God can help them through this. The number one thing that I've learned is to rely on God, because he's the one that saved me and changed me, and just I'm a completely different person because of it.